Okay, we're gonna have some honesty today. You know, that stuff ended like 30 freaking years ago. We're gonna be talking about this post from Four for the Road, and I'm not trying to be a jackass or about this, but it really does need to be addressed with these protocol education websites or education channels because it's getting plumb down ridiculous. It really is. The only way, and I'm going to tell you straight up, man, the only way you're going to learn anything is to actually get off your butt and get on the streets, meet some people, and learn it. You know, there's really not much to learn about being a man, but obviously these websites think there is. They're gonna, well, we're just giving you education. Come on, man, enough's enough. So I'm gonna be a little respectful there. Also, let's talk about Mooch, man, that we're into this education stuff. A lot of people might not know this unless you've watched his stuff or heard him talk. Mooch actually embodies what brotherhood was supposed to be about. Now, why do I say was supposed to be about? And I hope I get this story right. When you're talking brotherhood, it has nothing to do with a patch. Yeah, I'll give you a little advice there, newbies or ones that are interested in true crime and all that stuff. Because let's be honest, mostly it's what we call civilians watching these channels, getting off on thinking that they know what goes on in the scene, or they want to learn everything that, well, you saved my life. Well, you just weren't a damn man. Okay. That's what I can tell you. It's just being straight off. But when you talk about brotherhood, and the reason why I'm bringing up Mooch is because he actually made a very good comment on one of my posts. You know, me and Mooch, we as sometimes never seen eye to eye, but we always kept it professional. And I've always respected Mooch. I love Mooch to death. But going back to his story, he had a crew down south. They were tight as hell, man. The true meaning of what a chapter or charter, whatever your club calls it, it was true. It was actually something I remember back in the 90s. And I'm sorry to say, man, the stuff that you guys talk about, it's been gone for over 30 years, man. Early 2000s, I guess you would say. But the true stuff was in the 90s. That's the stuff you're talking about of what went down. This stuff nowadays is a freaking joke. And that's straight up. It's a joke. But anyway, Mooch didn't leave his crew behind, man. He didn't. I guess one guy got put out bad for God knows what nowadays. And he didn't leave his chapter. And because that, he got put out bad. And they are still riding and still friends till this day. They didn't need a damn patch. They stood strong together. I think that's one reason, I hate to bring this up, that a lot of people related to Sons of Anarchy. They see, put all that Hollywood crap aside. Not this Hollywood, but the Hollywood crap in Sons of Anarchy. The whole thing behind that was about brotherhood, how they stuck together. A few guys, they ran their deep and didn't need no help. So when you see these education websites or what's it called? Protocol, what the protocol ones drive me freaking insane. But because they pull this crap out of their ass, and it's 98% of the crap that comes out doesn't happen on the streets. But anyway, hanging strong together. That was Mooch, man. He gave it up. He was in a big ass club, big ass one. He was a player, and he said, "You know what? Hell no, man. Those are my guys. And if you don't like it, go pound sand." That's a real man. That's a real brother. Because he wasn't going to let somebody tell him who he can hang around with, who his brothers were. And again, you can disagree with him, or you can bring up everything you can against him. He is the real deal. It's something that a lot of you aspire to be. I think, he lived in the wrong time period. He should have been in the 90s, not in, modern time. But I'm so glad he's out there talking about this stuff. And like I said, agree or disagree with him, at least he keeps it respectful, and you have a good damn debate, man. And he's bringing a lot of people together that used to be freaking enemies, that used to kill each other. Anyway, let's get to this post. And I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just giving, you're getting some exposure there. But I want to give my opinion on it, because it always seems, anyway. The guest writer's Hoodlum, and I guess there's guys that are behind the website. I used to know a couple of them. I don't know if they're there, that are current club members or former club members, and they give their thoughts and all that good stuff. They're the ones that, they're actually trying. They're a website that really puts out some effort. So I can't really bang them on the, the education stuff. It's just giving thoughts. It's the other channels that are like, you know what? Stop with the crap already. But anyway, he gives a little scenario here about being on a plane and how somebody thought that they can buy a pilot's license, trying to put it in equation to how people are doing it nowadays. He goes on with this questions: what would you do? I know what the hell I'm doing. I'm getting off the plane because there are other things money simply can't buy. And here's what he says, and it's true. Respect, integrity, true loyalty, true brotherhood, love, self-respect, self-worth, commitment, honor, miles traveled. And that's where I started off the video. That's been gone for 30 years, man. I know you younger guys want it, but everything has shifted over 30 years. And let's be honest, okay? 99% of you guys don't even know what that is. And I feel sorry for you. Because what we enjoyed in the 90s is totally different than today. For one, we were men. Now, I'm not saying not everybody's men and all that kind of stuff nowadays. I'm just not saying that. I'm just saying there is a different viewpoint, if you will, on what a biker was, a club member was, all that kind of stuff. So the stuff you're talking about now in the post, it just don't go on today, man. I see people turn on the dime every day we cover the news. You see it on the street. You know, the example with Mooch and how their crew is still together. After you leave a club nowadays, you're pushed to the side. It's like you never existed. So, how is that brotherhood? I ask you, how is that? The buy-in clause somehow purchases a history, responsibility, sacrifice, and reputation attached to it. Again, you guys are chasing a 70s, 80s, and 90s idea that doesn't exist anymore. When I hear people complaining about purchasing colors, that cat's out of the bag, man. It ain't ever going back now. And one of the reasons why you see it happening is because a lot of the established clubs all around the world are a bunch of pricks. And they treat their people like shit. So everybody goes out and starts their own thing because they're looking for the stuff you were just talking about. And you have to remember, it's a different generation of people here. They believe in stuff that none of us older guys believe in. But that's just how it goes now. And for those complaining, well, where are you? Where are you on the streets? Don't allow it to happen if it means so much to you. But you know what? Nobody has done that. So that's why the cat is out of bag. Then he goes and talks about the sacrifice of the early days. There was nobody to ask permission from. One thing that we always say in the streets, and I'm going to come from a gang standpoint instead of a club standpoint, if you can back it, shut the hell up. And, you know, we equate that to clubs. If they can back it and you can't do a damn thing about it, then just shut up and accept it, or, you know, it is what it is. One of the ones I've, and this goes all the way back to when they started, because I had this ideology, but it was coming off sooner from what we knew and when it started going in decline. That Iron Order crap. You know, I had bouts with Lollipop, as I call him, but he, you know, got kicked out from Iron Order and went and started Iron Legacy. But anyway, you always hear people bitching about him, but you guys haven't done shit, and they actually stood up to most of your one percenter clubs. And they're still here, and they're still growing, and there ain't nothing that can be done about it. You can talk about how respect and all that kind of stuff. It's a different way of thinking now. You're pissing on everything that we are supposed to be about. People ain't about it no more, man. People are not about it anymore. Again, you're chasing a fantasy. You're reducing decades of sacrifice into a transaction. You're telling every man who prospected, every brother who earned his place, every founder who built something from nothing, and every patch holder who bled for his club. By the way, you don't want to be hypocrites here. I'd tell you, back in the 90s, we didn't care if we were called motorcycle gang or motorcycle club. We knew what the hell we were. We weren't stupid. Yeah, you put this kind of stuff out there to get the public behind you. But when you put stuff like who bled for this club, that all of it has a price tag, it doesn't. You just make their argument, man. You make the freaking Meta's argument by agreeing to stuff like that. You want patches, earn them, simple, hang around prospect, and guess what? If you don't make it, try again. That's not how it works no more, because before the internet, you had to know somebody for a long time personally to even get around a club. It wasn't selling support shirts like it is today and just go, you want to hang around just to get numbers. It doesn't work that way no more, man. People are connected through the internet than they are on the street. I know several brothers who have brothers who stuck it through the storms of life and here with us. Well, yeah, until they leave. And then the next thing you know, they're thrown out into the wind. Nobody wants anything to do with them. Stop prostituting yourself for a diamond. That diamond don't mean nothing anymore, man. Again, that ship is sailed. It don't mean nothing. Everybody has one. For what will profit a man if he gains? Okay, we're getting into that stuff. Counter argument, well, everyone pays for the patches, then you either intentionally being dishonest or you fundamentally don't understand the difference. You're not paying the patch, you're paying an entrance fee. Spin it any way you want, man. Spin it any way you want. The money didn't buy you respect. Yeah, money don't buy you respect. Well, it depends on the way you look at that, but money buys you power and the respect that comes along with that power. If you're going to be talking about, bleeding and all that stuff, well, put it in an aspect that's for real, man. Power and money's everything on the street. Your dues. You owe a debt to the brothers and founders who built your club. You owe a debt to the brothers and founders who built your club. You owe a debt to those men who bled and may have spilled for your patch. You owe a debt to the brothers who spilled blood on your behalf so your club still can exist with its reputation intact. You owe a debt to your brothers behind the walls. And to their families, and you owe a debt to yourself to be worthy of carrying all that on your back. A patch isn't valuable because of the thread. It's valuable because the men before you paid for it. And if your only contribution was mail-in address, $400 cut, then what exactly have you inherited besides cloth? I get the argument, man, I do, but you're preaching to a generation that has no concept of what anything of this was supposed to mean. You're preaching to the freaking choir, as they say. What you've earned? Well, like I said, here's the deal. If they do start something up, if they back it, it is what it is. There's like 50,000 street gangs out there. But if they can hold their own, who are you to say they're not getting the respect? No, you go out and bang on them because you can't do nothing about it. And the symbolism about this patch stuff that you were talking about, it's a patch, man. It's the man. It always has been. And this culture that you keep on trying to preserve, again, has been gone 30 years. And bitching and moaning about counterfeiting, what it's worth. It's worth whatever the people that are together make it. You think, it used to be nobody gave a shit what anybody else thought about. But now, since, it is what it is. You are the problem. You are what's wrong with the culture. What culture are you talking about? Again, which culture? You're a cancer and you'll continue to be as long as you confuse buying something with earning it. Okay. The cancer's already spread, man. Stage 4. And nothing that you education websites or protocol sites are going to do anything about it. They can't. You can preach this stuff left and freaking right. But the way this new generation is, you ain't getting nowhere, man. And the reason I think I have, and again, this ain't directed towards, for the road or anything, because, you got everybody who's going to want the drama shit going. But you got these education and protocol sites. And I'm going to be honest, you guys talk out of your ass. And when you're going around telling other people are destroying the culture, aren't you the ones bullshitting and hypocrites? Hey, I get the hustle, man. You want to make that money, go for it. I encourage it. But don't be a damn hypocrite, man. Honestly. Makes you a liar. That's just like these, you guys are destroying it, the biker news. Hey, that's been going on since the early days in the 90s when white trash networks came up, outsiders. We amplified it in 2011. It's there. You're just pissed off that people are covering it and you look stupid. It's just like the other day. One of the Diablos got freaking busted in that melee that went down, then went out and smoke bombed the guy's business. It's like, dude, are you that dumb? My goodness. But don't be hypocrites, man. You guys are making shit up out of thin air. You're passing 1%er bullshit. We never gave a shit about that. Nobody ever did, man. But you amplify it. And it's like, what the hell, man? We're destroying it, biker news? Shut up, stupid. You're putting rules out there that never existed. But anyway, a true brotherhood, go talk to Mooch. Because he knows it. His crew knows it. If that's what you're chasing, go talk to them. Because I know they got the workout thing and all that good stuff. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. I know this was a long-winded one, but it just had to be said. When you see them kind of post, it's like, you know what? Stop freaking whining, man. People are going to do their own damn thing. And if they can back it and there's nothing you can do about it, just shut up about it. There's no teaching these new jacks, man. Society has already brainwashed them. Anyway, don't forget Insane Throttle music, man. Go check it out. Rock on.
Insane Throttle, your official Google News source for everything biker. Thanks for riding with us. Smash that subscribe button. Check out InsaneThrottleNews.com for the latest updates and join the insanity today.
Insane Throttle Outlaw Rock, featuring Insane Throttle and Defiant Afterlife. Get your playlist full of pure rock and metal. Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe and crank it up.
Now I'm back in the fight.